As the market is growing with luxurious cars and evolving technology, there are still poor cars in the market that we don't know about. But we've got you. You've come to the perfect place if you're wondering what the worst SUV you can buy is. Everyone wants to be able to travel in a car that makes you feel confident, offers you the features you require, and gives you the versatility that comes with driving an SUV. This wasn't the original purpose of the switch from sedans to crossover SUVs, was it? In this video, we'll examine the 6 models you should steer clear of. SUVs are the best type of vehicles thanks to their elevated seating position, vast exterior, and spacious, comfy interior that's packed with amenities. While some new SUVs offer a smooth ride with great facilities, others can lead to worse experiences and more cons rather than pros. These cars are difficult to handle and maintenance is costly. So, buckle up and let's take a closer look on the top 6 worst SUVs to avoid from purchasing in 2023. In this video, the 6 SUVs we'll review are Fiat 500X, Ford Explorer, Jeep Renegade, Ford Ecosport, Chevy Trax, Mini Countryman. Let's first start by reviewing the top 6 of the pyramid. Fiat 500X, $29,000. The 2023 Fiat 500X features a stylish exterior design, a delightful performance, and decent comfort. However, that is debatable. With standard all-wheel drive, the 500X's powerful turbocharged 4-cylinder engine produces 177 horsepower. Even though the 500X is bigger than the standard 500, it is still a little car. There's just 34.8 inches of legroom in the back seats, and the seat backs are rigid and oddly positioned. This is a clear indication that this SUV isn't made for families because people sitting in the back will be in a lot of discomfort because of lack of space, and even those who are tall will experience discomfort sitting at the back. It can even make your family feel a little claustrophobic. It also has smaller load capacity than the other competing SUVs in the market. You can sadly say goodbye to the idea of enjoying the ride in this SUV with your family and instead consider fitting shopping bags or your golf bags in the back seats. In addition, it's been determined that this SUV is less reliable because the owner is responsible for a few additional repairs after the warranty expires. Fiat feels more rugged than the previous trim levels, which has impacted its value on the used car market. While being able to handle a dirt road, it doesn't have off-road upgrades and it's not advised for use in more difficult terrain. Ford Explorer. Another vehicle that might be prudent to stay away from entirely at the moment is the 2019 Ford Explorer. While offering a lot of size and power, this series has undoubtedly been having trouble for a while. Despite having a lot of size and power, it has a low fuel efficiency. In cities, it's only predicted to get 20 miles per gallon. The third row of the 2022 Ford Explorer is only appropriate to accommodate 2 young children, so what's the point if you can't fit your entire family even when investing a huge amount of money? This midsize SUV achieves 28 miles per gallon on highway conditions with ordinary traffic that clearly indicates it may not work well in congested cities. Families should budget for multiple fuel breaks if they wish to travel in this large Ford Explorer. With the height of the headrests in the second row and the 2022's narrow max track, 89.3 inches, it's possible that despite its lavish interiors, passengers in that row would feel more crammed. Please be aware that this SUV's side wind stabilization hardly works to control it when swerving at high speeds. Jeep Renegade. The compact SUV from Jeep, the Renegade, nearly doesn't belong in the lineup. The Renegade looks like a Jeep from the front, with the familiar grille and headlamp design, but it's much smaller and less useful than the well-liked Cherokee and Wrangler models. The Renegade also lacks reliability, which may be much more detrimental to customers. The 2.4-litre Tiger Shark 4-cylinder engine in the Jeep Renegade is notorious for a design issue that allows it to take up too much engine oil. Particularly, faulty piston rings permit oil to leak between the rings and burn off during combustion. As a result, the 2.4-litre engine, which has a 5.5-quart oil capacity, can need up to a quart of oil every 1,000 miles. Even worse, if the oil level drops below 3.5 quarts, the engine may stall. Even without the low oil indicator light, oil levels might drop. The Jeep Renegade isn't a horrible SUV, and it's certainly not the worst car you can buy for the money, but it falls short of our expectations when we see ourselves as Jeep owners. If you purchase a Renegade, be prepared and aware of its lack of luxury, poor ride quality, and dependability issues, and the gas mileage issues. We've talked about the top 3 worst SUVs you should be avoiding. Now, let's review 3 more of them. Ford Ecosport. The Ecosport also lacks any additional state-of-the-art safety features. Certain versions come equipped with blind spot monitors, rear parking sensors, and automatic rain-sensing wipers, but the Ecosport lacks even basic technologies like lane-keeping assistance and adaptive cruise control. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration gave the 2022 Ecosport a 4 in each category. Customers should be aware that while several smaller SUVs have received the highest 5-star rating, this one has a 4-star rating, which is respectable for preventing frontal collisions and a flawless 5-star rating for preventing side impacts. Yet, while being user-friendly, it only received a 3 out of 5 on the rollover test. Sadly, the interior is a tad noisy. The EcoSport has more rear passenger room than its rivals, but given that it's a crossover, it doesn't really say much. The back interior still has a problem that most crossovers do. There isn't much room for full-sized adults to sit comfortably. We did state that the EcoSport is best suited for young, newly formed families. Ford's decision to not totally replace the 1.5-litre engine choice with the 2019 Engine of the Year 1-litre alternative is surprising given how much superior it is. While the latter motivates, the former's poor performance and poor fuel efficiency might simply drain an EcoSport owner's life. The 1.5 litres poorer fuel efficiency is immediately apparent, and it gets worse as time goes on. Here's all you needed to know about Ford EcoSport and why you must avoid it. Chevy Trax. Unfortunately, the Trax has some pitfalls that are causing this car to get somewhat lost in the crowd, and you should be aware of them before making a decision on purchasing it. It's possible that the Chevy Trax won't satisfy drivers who need to tow a load. Its minimal towing capacity is less than 1,300 pounds. This means that moving larger fishing boats and campers will probably be difficult for the SUV. The Chevrolet Blazer, a medium SUV, will end up being a better choice. For the majority of commuters, the 2022 Chevy Trax is powerful enough, yet driving fanatics are unlikely to be excited. It can be a little slow to accelerate. According to road tests, this vehicle can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 9.3 seconds. Some competitors seem to accelerate off the line substantially faster. Drivers of the Trax must depress the gas pedal when attempting to merge onto a motorway. The Trax's spacious interior will not be an issue for parents of young children. Teenagers, on the other hand, could find it uncomfortable to fit in the SUV's back seat. Legroom isn't as spacious as some individuals would prefer. The 2017 Chevrolet Trailblazer, which offers greater rear legroom than most compact crossovers, will appeal to people who require more room to spread out. This SUV isn't designed to tackle difficult terrain. It lacks off-road shocks and protective skid plates, among other important robust components. When confronted with barriers created by Mother Nature, most drivers will also require additional ground clearance. These are all the pitfalls you need to be aware of. We finally made it to the top 1 SUV you must avoid this year. Mini Countryman. This SUV has a lot of issues. The first is that there isn't enough space for storage, let alone passengers. Due to their small size, Minis stand out among subcompact cars, which is surely bothersome. It still rests low to the ground, though. The way the automobile hugs the ground may be preferred by some, but this could be problematic on rough terrain. Driving the Countryman over rough roads seems like it'd be challenging to avoid scraping the bottom off the frame. And drivers could even have to drive over speed bumps and dips in parking lots at very low speeds. Also, there's no support for Android Auto, so there's no pity for Android users in this circumstance. Instead of using a smartphone app, you'll have to rely on Bluetooth. Android Auto emission sounds strange because if you have an iPhone, you can utilize Apple's CarPlay technology. Both are already prevalent in automobiles. Also, there isn't much room to look outside, so if you need to reverse, you'll need to rely on the rear-view camera because turning around would limit your ability to see. It's definitely a no-go for Android users and those who are looking for comfortable, enjoyable long drives. So, before you plan to buy the best SUV according to your preferences and demands, whether an SUV for your family or for carrying heavy weights or for speeding, you need to steer clear of these 6 SUVs in 2023. Considering the lack of space in all these SUVs and the several safety issues, they're definitely not worth the price and can be a waste of money.